Good day. I'm glad you're here. Today's readings are from Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 1 through 10. The word of the Lord to the prince of Tyre, a man whose heart grew proud because of his wealth and wisdom. And from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 19, verses 23 through 30. Jesus warning his disciples that it is harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God than for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. Now let me tell you what these readings are really saying. The prince of Tyre says, I am a god, and the Lord condemns him for it. At first glance, this seems to contradict everything I have taught you. Have I not said with the psalmists, with the prophets, with Christ himself, that the name of God is I am, and that name is your own? Why then does God judge this man for making the very declaration I have called the key to all creative power? Listen carefully. The prince of Tyre does not say I am in the pure, unconditioned way. He says it because of what he has gathered. He says it because of his gold and silver. He says it because of his wisdom in trade, his reputation, his splendor. He has built his claim to divinity on external evidence. He is saying, in effect, I must be a god. Look at what I have. That is not I am. That is I have. And there is a world of difference between the two. The I am that I have spoken of, the creative power within you, the living word, the presence that is before all world, does not rest on outer riches. It does not need proof. It does not point to the marketplace and say, see, that is how I know I am divine. The pure I am is declared from within, before the evidence appears, not after it. The prince of Tyre reversed the order. He let the outer world define his inner state. He let accumulation become his identity. And when the outer world is stripped away, as it always is, there is nothing left to stand on. This is precisely what Jesus means when he says the rich man cannot enter the kingdom. He is not speaking of money as a moral failing. He is speaking of a state of consciousness, the state of a man who has built his entire inner life on what he sees, owns, and controls in the outer world. That man cannot go within. He cannot enter the upper room. His identity is too fastened to the surface of things to drop through to the depth where creation happened. With men, with that outer-bound consciousness, it is impossible. But with God, with the awakened I am, the one who has gone within, all things are possible. That is not consolation. That is the law. Peter speaks plainly, as Peter always does. We have left everything. What then shall we have? And the answer is the hundredfold, not because poverty is noble or because sacrifice earns reward, but because when you release the outer world as the source and proof of your I am, you create the inner space the Father fills with more than any man could accumulate by effort. You lift houses. You receive the awareness that you are the builder of every house. You lift land. You receive the understanding that you are the Lord of every land you can conceive within. The last becoming first is not a reversal of fortune. It is a transformation of orientation. The one who had no outer credential stepped forward because they learned to speak from within. They dared to say, I am, before any evidence appeared. And the evidence followed, as it always does. That is the promise. That is the pattern. Here is what I ask of you this day. Notice where you have been waiting for outer proof before you allow yourself to say, I am. Notice where you have said, perhaps without words, when I have this, then I will know I am worthy. Drop that. Drop it as the disciples dropped their nets. Go within now. Speak your word before the evidence arrive. Let the assumption settle into your bone. Sleep in it tonight. Rest in the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. The Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. Until tomorrow, I love you.